Breaking news right now, George Zimmerman and his lawyer, they want a new judge. Now it's a game of really wait and see. Let's check in with Fox 35's Shannon Butler. She just got back from speaking, actually, with Zimmerman's lawyer in Sanford. Shannon.
Bob's attorney tells me that George Zimmerman is very frustrated. He doesn't understand why he's in jail at all. Now news of a hiccup in the case may push a bond hearing now further down the road. Zimmerman tells his attorney he doesn't want to spend one more day than he has to behind bars.
Yes, and sign it, and I gotta go get copies somewhere and then file it.
Around 2 o'clock today, George Zimmerman signed paperwork saying he wanted to have the judge on his case removed.
Right away, as we get into a case, all of a sudden there's the first problem. I think this is a minor glitch. It's not going to be that big a deal. We're going to get to a judge who can handle the case, whoever that is that they decide upon, and we'll move forward.
Better now than later.
Much better now than later.
Mark NeJame, his attorney, filed the motion this afternoon to have Judge Jessica Recksiedler dismissed because her husband works for attorney Mark NeJame. He lives here in Orlando and now serves as a legal analyst for CNN.
It just makes sense to address it, resolve it now, rather than wait a couple of months for there to be some problem. I don't know if it's a problem for Mr. NeJame analyzing it and criticizing or not criticizing the judge. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know we're going to have so much scrutiny, it makes sense to address it now.
Now the bond hearing could be in jeopardy. It's scheduled for this Friday. But with another judge likely to preside over this case now, that time and that day could be changed.
It will. It's going to. It's not her calendar anymore. So it's not set for Friday at 10 right now, but I certainly hope to find another judge soon who will give me Friday at 10 or sometime real quickly thereafter.
Bond is likely to be granted in the case. So Maris says he's working on a hiding place for Zimmerman, and bond, if granted, is expected to be pretty high. But he says Zimmerman is getting the money from someone. Now, I'd love to show you that motion that NeJame filed, but the motion is sealed along with all the other paperwork in this case, at least for now. The media filed a motion of its own today to ask a judge to unseal all of those documents. We'll keep you posted.
Let's talk with Diana Tennis about this. Diana, you know Jessica Recksiedler. Should she or should she not recuse herself?
Well, basically, at this point, Bob, she has invited both sides to recuse her if they think that her husband's relationship to Mark NeJame and that firm is too close for comfort. So I don't see any reason why she wouldn't grant the order that has been requested by Mark NeJame.
You mean grant the order, meaning that she'd take a look at it, but whether or not she'd recuse herself? And do you think that there's enough grounds for her to?
I think it's pretty much a done deal. Judges and lawyers take this very seriously. Lawyers don't ask for it unless there's a real, at least appearance potentially of impropriety, and judges typically grant them when they're asked without question, and if they do question it, then at that point the appellate court says you've got to grant it. So I think it's a done deal. I think she's off this case.
Yeah.
It's going to be a matter of which of the other handful of circuit court felony judges up there we have. Probably Judge Galuzzo or Judge Lester would be my guess.
She was chosen at random. Do they do the same thing? Do they choose her the next one at random or no?
I think the first time around definitely by random. I am a little suspicious that the second time isn't a little bit more hand selected, but theoretically it'll just be whoever is up next.
Just to vet them, if you will, a little bit. Does she have to get it done by Friday? Because that's when the bond hearing is.
I know. I'm really hoping that they're figuring out who's going to take this case and keeping that hearing where it's set. If not, the hearing will get reset in front of the new judge. I would think in this particular situation they'd like to get it done where it's set right now.
There's no bond right now. What do you think it's going to be set to?
My best guess is somewhere in the $100,000 range. Give up your passport, maybe wear an ankle monitor, something along those lines.
And essentially you have to go to a bondsman and get, what, 10% of that?
Typically, you go through a bondsman, you pay them 10% as a fee that you do not get back because they're taking the risk that you're going to flee the jurisdiction and they'll have to pay the whole amount. Or you can pay the cash bond, which is the entire amount up front to the clerk's office, and then you get it all back later.
Okay, and we will see what Judge Jessica Recksiedler decides.
Thank you.
Thanks.